So, we are going to talk about Mercury retrograde and what it isn't telling you in your natal chart. But you may be missing out some information. So, let's dive in and see. March 14th, Mercury is in 9 degrees Aries. So, if you have anything going on in your natal chart, 9 degrees Aries, so 0 to 9 degrees or 9 degrees to 15 degrees Aries, you're going to be impacted quite a bit by this whole eclipse, full moon, new moon lineup over here. And then we get a Mercury retrograde. But right next to Mercury is also Venus is retrograde, which has to do with love and money and luxuries and everything else. So let's see. So the next day on the 15th, Mercury is retrograde. Now, that means that Venus and Mercury will be holding hands and going in a backwards motion. And so we know what that retrograde means. It means they're speeding along on the highway going forward at 60 million miles an hour, let's say, because they're planets, and then they need to go in the other direction. They move backwards and they decelerate. They go to 0 degrees or 0 miles an hour, sorry, and then they go in reverse. So you got to stop before you go from forward to reverse. So at that stopping point, it's a stationing point, which makes it very potent. So look and see in your natal charts what's going on with these planets or spaces in your natal chart. So we're going to have a lot of interesting conversation, and it also is going to impact our purpose in life and what we need to let go of. Let go of criticism, let go of the minor details. Let's look at the big picture, you guys. We have a lot going on. We have these outer planets that are in sextile. It's a grand sextile. Pluto, which means opportunities, and they're working well together. Pluto, Aquarius, we've talked ad nauseum about Pluto and Aquarius because it changed signs. Well, now Neptune's going to change signs, and they're going to be holding hands together in the sextile position, which is a lot of opportunities for new types of imagination and electronics in a spiritual tone, because it's going into Aries and it will affect us personally. That's Aries energy. And also it's making a sextile to Uranus and it's going to be going into Gemini, which is all information air signs. So we're dealing with air, Aquarius, fire, air. So look and see on your chart, because if any of these points, right, are hitting anything in your chart, that means they're getting a combination effect. And these are long-term energies that will be together. This grand this grand sextile will be until 2030, another 5 years. And then the Pluto-Neptune will be to 2040. That's 20 years. So it's amazing. This lineup is the first time in history. And a lot of astrologers have gone back and they found that in 5 something BCE, during the time of Pythagoras and all the greats, philosophers and mathematicians and the scientists of that time, the golden era, that's what time frame planets had similar configurations, but not 100%, but very similar. So we may be facing a very golden age, but a very spiritual one as well, because not only is the planet of spirituality, imagination, illusion, delusion, and choose how you're going to work the energy. If if you want to go into Delulu land and you want to drink heavily, go into your drugs and be totally out of it, that's up to you. So, or you want to meditate and connect with your creator, that's up to you. You could use things in a positive or negative fashion. That's your free will. However, um, the end of the zodiac is Pisces. So we're starting a whole new zodiacal year or cycle. And for Neptune, it's 100 and I think 68 years, 168 year cycle. And that's that new cycle. So this is big. So Pluto was big. You saw what happened. And then we also have, our responsibilities with Saturn. So, we're talking about Mercury retrograde. So we got to take all this energy inward. Venus energy inward. Love, think about love. Now's the time to write down all your intentions because this is about communication, writing, teaching, training, but inwardly. So, yes, we're in Aries, but it's about me. You don't have to take the action yet. Not a great time to take the action, but you can think about it. Be introspective, especially with Neptune, which is introspection. All right. So check that out and put in the comments below if you have any questions. Let me know how things are working out for you. And as always, if you need a reading from me, go into my calendar. All the links are below. And until further notice, I hope that you enjoyed this Mercury retrograde. You can see some other videos that I put out about the myths of Mercury retrograde, and I'll stop the share so you could see me full on. And here's the thing. Mercury retrograde has nothing to do with your cat passing away. So Mercury retrograde means that you take information and digest them first, take them inwardly first, before you take any action, before you sign a contract, before you buy a car, before you take on a new job because you have to sign contracts and deals. Any kind of commitment like that, even before you send out an email, because it's all about communication. So, Twitter already had a taste of, it's not Twitter, it's X, but already had maybe a preview of communication snafus because the whole system went down. That's a type of thing that could be blamed on a Mercury retrograde. But if you look and see on your natal chart and see where this retrograde is, look and see what house it's in, and look and see how busy that house is. Are there a lot of characters and planets in there? And do they have a lot of interaction with other characters and planets in your arena, in your life stage arena? And that will tell you a lot of things. So do we predict? We can predict the energies based on the planetary cycles and movements. We can 100% predict that, where they're going to be and who they're going to be talking to, what planets are going to be in what signs, in what houses, and how's the conversation going to go. Is it going to be like sharp and aggressive? Is it going to be a need to balance, or is it going to be, ooh, kumbaya, oh, let's just sit down and chill, that kind of flow? Or are there going to be opportunities, So all these aspects, the conjunctions, the oppositions, and the sextiles, all of them have special meanings. And you could take them negatively or positively. So it's like, you focus on the water. Is it half empty or half full? Oh, I still have plenty of water in here. Or, oh my God, I don't have any water. So, when you change the way you look at things, what happens? The things you look at change. That's Wayne Dyer, probably before your time. And that's when we all used to read books and educate ourselves with the written material. So I highly recommend that you read. And this is a good time to read and journal because Mercury retrograde and it's right after the eclipse. So it's like bang, 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 all this stuff going on. Have any questions? Let me know. I appreciate you following me. And I always love doing these videos for you. It's my joy. Take care. Bye bye.